OpenAI just announced their first AI chip developed in partnership with Broadcom. On the right here is Hock Tan, the CEO of Broadcom. And if you don't know what Broadcom is, they're one of the biggest players in the chip industry. This is a huge deal. This chip is codenamed Jalapeño, and boy, is it a spicy one. Let's dive in. This announcement, delivered 12 hours ago today, says OpenAI and Broadcom unveil LLM optimized inference chip. You can find it on their website. You can also listen to the article. It's 7 minutes and 7 seconds long. I'm going to break down the most important points for you right now. First and foremost, this chip, codenamed Jalapeño, has been in development for only 9 months. If you don't know, that is kind of a big deal because it's not very long. Normally, chips take a bit longer to develop than that, and this one was developed with AI models, you guessed it, doing a lot of the chip design. Early testing shows that the first generation accelerator will deliver performance per watt substantially better than current state-of-the-art chips. This is from their blog, so who knows what data they're using to evaluate that claim. But the fact that that is the very first claim that they make is significant to me. It's built for the ground up for current and future LLMs across the industry. It's developed from design to production in only 9 months, like I said, accelerated by OpenAI's own models. It expands OpenAI's full stack platform from products to models and now to chips. And it's going to be deployed at gigawatt scale, they claim, with data center partners over multiple generations. So they're planning on being in it for the long haul. OpenAI and Broadcom unveiled the Jalapeño chip today. It's their first intelligence processor, and it's accelerated around OpenAI's vision for the future. Now, they want this to be something that's accessible to more people, but I'm a little suspicious about that. I think when they say more people, what they actually mean is more corporate partners, which nothing wrong with that necessarily. But I would certainly like to see more consumer-facing and consumer-friendly hardware coming out of any frontier AI lab. I've read the whole article. If you want to go check it out, I'll link it down in the description. And I'd be very curious to hear what you think. So please, if you do read it, or if you just have some thoughts that you'd like to share, drop a comment. I'm interested to hear what you have to say. One of the things from the article that really stands out to me is that Jalapeño is not meant to be a GPU. It's not a general purpose chip. It is specifically engineered for LLM inference, meaning it's specifically made for today's current generations of AI models. It's meant to be a chip that runs large language models natively. It can do other things, I'm sure, but the primary use case is going to be running AI models at scale. Nvidia produced chips that are capable of doing this, but Nvidia is more known for their general purpose GPUs. This is very interesting because it's specific to OpenAI's models and it's specifically engineered to run AI LLMs. So by building a chip that does only one job, OpenAI is creating what they hope to be an entirely new market. They seem to be attempting to completely change the way that chips are thought of in the industry in general. Before this, you had to have massive GPUs, large server banks, big data centers that were running AI at scale. Now, there are new chips coming onto market, including this Jalapeño chip, that are specifically engineered for AI models to run natively. The specific model that they name dropped in this article is GPT 5.3 Codex Spark. If you've used Codex, you may already be aware that it's pretty good. It's decent at doing most things that AI can do today, like coding, all kinds of stuff. If you haven't used it, say what you will about OpenAI, but I am a huge fan of taking advantage of the tools of our time. Now, Moving forward in the article, while OpenAI is still measuring final performance, early testing shows that Jalapeño will deliver performance per watt that is substantially better than current state of the art. A detailed technical report on performance will be presented in the coming months, they say, but the architecture reduces data movement and balances compute, memory, networking resources to achieve realized utilization that is much closer to theoretical peak performance. So they're really trying to get their bang for the buck out of their hardware. Broadcom silicon implementation and networking technologies, including Tomahawk networking silicon, something proprietary that they produce, help bring the platform to large-scale production. So they're really trying to go all out with this and put GPT 5.3 Codex Spark on every chip. There's a quote right after that from Greg Brockman, who is the president and co-founder of OpenAI. He says, "The world is moving to a compute-powered economy. Jalapeño is part of our long-term full-stack infrastructure strategy to make compute more abundant, which will result in AI that is faster, more reliable, more affordable for both people and businesses." He says that it can be used to solve more important problems by designing more of the stack ourselves. And OpenAI is trying to serve more intelligence with greater efficiency and keep pushing advanced AI toward broader access. I'd be interested to know how much Fable 5 played into the design of some of these things. If you haven't used that, or if you didn't get the chance to use it, holy crap. What a model. I just found out that Fable 5 was actually used to rewrite the kernel in some of the new Gemma models from Gemini while it was still available here in the United States, and they increased performance significantly. So if this is to be believed and their claims are accurate, every chip having GPT 5.3 Codex Spark on it should, by all means and definitions, create an intelligence explosion. That has been talked about for quite some time now. The intelligence explosion is something that people like me and people like you in this community have been anticipating for years now. If these chips are cost effective, if they are economical, and if the AI models running on them are actually useful, then we could be getting ready for hard takeoff. Now, another thing that stood out to me in this article was it was developed using OpenAI models. This part here says Jalapeño was co-developed from initial design to manufacturing tape out in just 9 months, and the custom AI accelerator program represents what OpenAI believes to be the fastest ASIC development cycle ever achieved in high-performance advanced semiconductors. That speed, they say, reflects deep software-hardware co-development with OpenAI's engineering team, Broadcom's silicon implementation expertise, and the use of OpenAI models to accelerate parts of the design and optimization process. This is something that we've been talking about in this community for some time. Recursive self-improvement seems to be close at hand. Hard takeoff, meaning the AI just starts developing faster and faster every day, might be right around the corner. All of these manufacturers seem to be pushing towards hardware and software and models in an entirely cohesive ecosystem that is unique to each frontier lab. But once we start being able to play with these things ourselves and get our hands on it as consumers, I think things are going to get a little different. Now, the question you're asking, of course, is when will I be able to get my hands on this? And the answer is no one can really tell you. But moving further down in the article, we see that they are designing the platform for initial deployment by the end of 2026. And OpenAI isn't like Tesla. They don't just throw deadlines out there willy-nilly. Usually when OpenAI says they're going to be doing something at a certain time, they tend to stick to it. They do push things back, of course, just like everyone does. But I have a tendency to think that this might be accurate. So by combining OpenAI designed accelerators with the Broadcom proprietary tech, it seems as if this stuff is going to be here by the end of the year. Now, there's a little PR stuff at the end, which I just love when they include this stuff. Democratizing AI as if they care, making advanced models available, dependable, and affordable enough for more people to use every day. More customers. Jalapeño helps OpenAI turn more of its infrastructure into useful intelligence for students, developers, and small businesses, which to me is actually the important part. These are the customers that they're trying to target. They want more students, they want more developers, and they want more small businesses using their tech. They seem to be aware that they're losing the fight to Anthropic and that most people prefer Claude Code, and they seem to have made the bet that if they build their own chips and control the ecosystem, they can really get a lot of juice out of the stuff that they're making and refine things faster with tighter iteration cycles, as evidenced by the 9-month ramp up from start to finish on building this chip. They go on to say they're targeting researchers, enterprises, and really anyone trying to learn, create, and solve hard problems, which is you, that's me, that's most people who are aware of what's going on and courageous enough to not look away. If you go on social media right now, especially Instagram, you're going to see a lot of doom and gloom. That's not what's going to happen over here on my channel. So if you're interested in learning more about this stuff, or if you just like my take and have something that you want to say about it, please drop me a comment. Please subscribe to the channel, help me grow. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the beginning of August. I'm going to be making as many videos as possible in that time. So if you like what you see and hear, please let me know. Please engage with the buttons down below. And if there's something else that you'd like me to cover, let me know. I'm interested in continuing the conversation with you in the next video. Thank you very much for stopping by. This is crazy. I can't wait to get my hands on one of these things myself. As always, thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.
Nice.